And there we go, we're live. Hopefully you enjoyed the funky music. I wish I could remember actually the YouTube creator who provided it, but sadly I can't because, you know me, I'm somewhat of an idiot at times. But it may well be the new theme tune for Mike's Unboxing. I kind of like it. It's got a funky kind of vibe to it. And it almost sounds a little bit 80s, which is, well, my era. So yeah, it may well stay.
Jake says raise your mic.
Oh, raise my mic. Mike. I did turn it down, didn't I, when we did the stream the other day? So 1, 2, 3. Is that better? That should be better, I think. Hopefully. I'm liking some of the comments in the stream there. So yes, it is Saturday. I don't know what day it is. What day is it?
7th.
The 6th. The 6th of March 2021. And we're into dire straits with GPUs. Been one of those weeks. Was it the stream this week, Kath?
Yeah.
It was, wasn't it? Bloody hell. Time has flown, yet stood still at the same time. It is a very weird time at the moment. So we did watch earlier in the week the release of the, I nearly said RTX 3060, but it wasn't. It was the AMD alternative, the 6700 XT, which is still way overpriced and will probably never hit the shelves before it ends up in scalpers' laps. The bastards! We hate scalpers and we hate miners even more. Not young children, obviously, because that's frowned upon by the algorithm. We do like children. Hi, children. But we don't like those people that make money out of mining on graphics cards.
Did have a look.
I think,
IT
possibly. Yeah, we did actually. We were walking through our local high street every day, filming some stuff, and there were some kids hanging out the window of a car waving at us. I don't think they recognised me. I think they were just bored, as most people are at the moment. Boredom does seem to be the key word of the day. Actually, probably of the month. March has been boredom month, I think. It seems to be getting worse and worse. I'm feeling it myself. You get up in the morning, it's like, oh, here we go. No PC parts. Those that are in stock are overpriced. What do I do? Well, you do what I do, and you just look for some really cheap stuff to cheer you up, which is what today's stream is going to be about, or tonight's stream, whichever way you look at it. Because I go on Hot UK deals quite frequently, basically a good couple of times a day, there's always offers on there, and we quite often post them into our Discord as well. So quick plug there for the Discord if you want to join the Discord. What's the thumbs down for, Kath?
I hate UK hot deals.
Oh yeah, Kath hates UK hot deals because they banned her for promoting our videos inadvertently. Banned. Anyway, there you go. So yes, deal that came up this week on Hot UK Deals was an absolute stonking deal. So it was basically this motherboard, which is the Gigabyte B450M DS3H V2. Now the V2 is very, very, very important on this particular board, which we'll go into a little bit later, or you can find out in the actual unboxing. We filmed the unboxing of that today, so that'll be posted out probably sometime before Christmas. So do check that out. It's actually a really good board, despite how cheap it potentially can be. I actually picked this up with a Ryzen 5 3400G. So that is kind of a Zen Plus part with a Vega 11 graphics card kind of bolted on. So even though it's got the 3000 series naming, it's effectively a 2000 series chip, which isn't totally bad because most of you out there will have probably at some point either had maybe a Ryzen 5 2600, or maybe, I'm trying to think what was the other good ones. The 2700 was a particularly good chip on that. I'm trying to think of the lower end ones. What was the Ryzen 3 of the 2000 series? I can't think. Was there a Ryzen 3 series of the 2000 series? There must have been. Was there a 2400, 2500? I don't know. It's back there, back in the dark. And, well, actually, it was quite a bright future back then, wasn't it? We could actually buy things. But anyway, you get the idea. So 3400G and this motherboard for a stonkingly good price, including postage. And these are new parts, mind, for £179, which I thought was fantastic. So I definitely jumped on board of that. I think the seller, which was, I believe it was AWDIT, or it could have been ADMI. It's one of those anyway. Regardless, it was a really good deal. So it turned up actually next day. So that's been absolutely fantastic. So now it's kind of planning a build around it. Now, because obviously everything is hashtag no GPU at the moment, because that's got Vega 11 in it, Vega 11 was probably one of the strongest, if not the strongest, of the onboard graphics of all of the Ryzen processors that are on the market even to this very day. Even the 4000 series and stuff like that, they've got Vega 10, which is kind of like a cut down version. There is improvements in IPC and all that kind of stuff, but bang for buck and actually availability, the 3400G is absolutely belting. So 4 cores, 8 threads, which is absolutely fine for most gaming purposes. I'm not too sure what the exact clock speed's on there. I think it's around about 3.6, 3.7, and I think it turbo boosts up to maybe 4.2. I could be completely wrong there. I'll have to look it up. Personally, I've got to be honest with you, don't really care. Doesn't make any difference because I'll probably try and overclock the snot out of it anyway, just for shits and giggles. Oh, and by the way, if you're under 18, there will potentially be alcohol beverages served in this particular stream, and potentially the odd cuss word. So yeah, if you're not keen on either of those two things, then yeah, the red cross in the top of the screen is probably what you want to hit. But for those of you that don't want to hit that red cross and you do want to hear the occasional profanity and possibly join us for a beer and see what the hell I'm going to do with all this stuff, then stick around because you'll be finding out basically.
Say press the green.
Yeah. Press the...
Blue, actually.
Is it? I've rolled my mouse over it as red.
Over what?
Over the X.
Oh no, I like this.
Yeah, don't roll your mouse over that. That's the like and dislike. You can roll your mouse over the like and dislike, preferably if you can either click on the like button once, or if you don't like this kind of content, just click on the dislike button twice. That's absolutely perfect. So let's say a quick hello to those of you that are actually in the stream this evening. For those of you that have got absolutely nothing better to do than want to watch this slightly fat, balding Bristolian blither on about tech on an evening. Why would you want to do that? I really don't know, but still, I am thankful for your patronage. Oh, and speaking of patronage, there is a quick one on the super chat. So if you want to send a super chat, you can do, and it lights up the RGB thing. Kath has to get up off her ass, turn the lights off. You know the usual drill if you're locals, or not locals. Well, the locals probably realise because they probably look out in the garden and say, what the hell's going on? Are they having a disco? Do they not know it's lockdown? Can they possibly be having a disco with only 2 people? Well, yes, we are. And that is Ugly Bob's giving us £5 and says, stay kids, learn some new swear words to impress your parents. Yes, and take them back to school on Monday. Schools, I believe, are opening back up on Monday. So for those of you that are watching and you're still of school age, best of luck with that on Monday. It's a very weird time for everybody in the human race currently. Well, I guess most people. Some people probably just don't care, whatever. But for those of you that are younger going back to school on Monday, sincerely, my heartfelt condolences, because it is going to be a tough time. When you're young, you've got hormones and stuff, and everything seems a little bit more high pressure than what it kind of really is. But it's not your fault, it's the way the human body develops, or devolves. It's the way the human body develops. And yeah, with all that hormones and stuff running around, everything is a potential kind of end of the world scenario. So going back to school in these times isn't going to be easy. So best of luck with all of that for anyone in the UK going back to school. David Aitken says, Balding, I think that ship has sailed, sir. David Aitken, because you're a particularly nice chap and a moderator, I won't say anything disparaging. Is that the right word? Disparaging? I don't know. I'll go along with that. Rich York's also sent us a £5. It hasn't said anything, but he's just left a pretty picture of himself. What's he wearing on his profile? Some sunglasses, perhaps? And a rather fetching moustache. Is Rich York actually from Hardware Unboxed and he's just trolling? Ugly Bob's put another £2 in the kitty and says, yeah, get back to school, you little gits. I think that's probably what a lot of parents are thinking secretly. So they'll be waving off their children on Monday morning. Sorry to see you go. No. Slam the door, and it's like, yay, woo woo, back to normality. Probably. So who have we got with us tonight? We have got Ugly Bob, obviously. Ghost Adder's with us as well. Jay from Texway. Thanks for stopping by, Jay. He's a lovely man. Do check out his channel. We also got Dom's with us and says yellow. Okay. I probably agree with that. Cosmic Space Muffin says good evening. Harry McFarlane says, hey Mike, or Nike, easy to confuse. I am like a semi-finished Nike trainer, soulless. Who else we got? So, they're all having a conversation. Waldo135 from the Discord, how you doing? Texway J's having pepperoni, chorizo, hot dog, slices and sausage on a bed of cheese and tomato puree.
Is that your theme music?
Oof, that sounds awesome.
Is it your theme music that inspired it?
It might have been, yeah. Oh, there's another super chat. Who is that now? Who's that? David Aiken. £2 says, looking forward to spring clips. Oh, God, I'm not. I'm really not. Spring clips are the... Sorry, I just noticed someone's username there. Big Bulls Bev. Hiya from Birmingham. Big Bulls Bev. Bev would normally be an abbreviation of Beverly, perhaps? Isn't that... That's a female name, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm all for equal opportunities. But I do get confused easily, and being that I'm a child of the 70s, stroke 80s, my kind of, my political correctness dial isn't always straight true north. It kind of deviates a little bit. So I'm an old-fashioned guy at heart, and I don't understand these new technologies. Apparently they can turn your penis inside out. I heard that today on a program. Very, very interesting theory. I never want to try it, but anyway. Oh dear, sorry, I do apologise. So, Jay Rich is with us. We've also got Cannavalos 80, Dutch Jan 2016, Evil Bladder, no, Evil Taylor, sorry. Close. I had an evil bladder in the night. It woke me up at 5 o'clock saying, Mike, it is now time for you to piss. Regardless of the fact it's still night time and everyone is asleep, you must piss, my son.
Babe, too much, too early.
All right. Well, they say in the YouTube thing that you shouldn't use too many cuss words straight into a stream. So I have paced myself a little bit. We're, what, 5 minutes in, easily? I don't know. Whatever. Ugly Bob says the GPU has moved in the background. It has. It's because I fell over. I hit it. Misra1898 says, has the Up Here cooler redeemed itself? No, it hasn't. It certainly hasn't. It's actually been returned. So for those of you who watched the video on Friday, I think a lot of you did actually, because it seemed to be pretty popular. You guys seem to enjoy it. And I actually enjoyed making the content because I was allowed to get a little bit pissed off with the production values of that particular unit. And yes, it was good. Aletta says there's no lockdown here, we have guns. It's fair enough. Neil Longman says the disco light went mad that time, Mike. It does. It's supposed to go sound to light, or sound, yeah, light to sound, sound to light, same thing. Rich York says the $5 for Mike to grab a beanie. Mark Berry says it's been that long. I think my son's forgot what the uniform looks like.
If they tried it on, it might.
Yeah, try it on.
It might be flying half mast.
I went for a job interview ages and ages. Well, probably about a year or two. Well, actually about 2 years ago. And I went for the interview, and it was like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning. I got up thinking, yeah, it's fine. I'll just go down, throw my suit on. It'll be fine. I went to put my trousers on, and no. It wasn't happening.
The big V at the front.
It looked like one of those bad things you see on a beach. It was not good at all. So that all went horribly, horribly wrong.
Jeans and Mike's unboxing t-shirt.
Yeah, so I went in a Mike's unboxing t-shirt and my jeans and still got the job. Oh dear. Excellent. Bill Taylor says, well, I just pissed an hour ago. We all got to do it sometime or other. James Miscellaneous says, from PC cases to inverted genitals, Mike's got you covered. Yeah, we discuss all kinds of things on this channel. Alexa says, where are the dancing girls? We don't have any dancing girls, sadly. Purdy says hello, and Wes Play says hellos. Antonio says, yes, it can be done, but why would you do it yourself? At least you should spend £1,000. Oh, this is the PC. I thought you were talking about the inverted penis thing. Wow. I'm saying for £1,000, that's not bad. I know the NHS is struggling these days, but I don't think they needed money that badly. But clearly, you're talking about a gaming PC. Oh, dear. Wes says, can you make a F15 GameMax fan info vid? Yeah, Kath's wrote it down. It's something I want to do. Unfortunately, the F15 is currently Kath's PC, and if I try and touch it, she just scowls at me, and I don't like it.
It is getting blue screen to death at the moment.
Yeah, it is blue screening quite often, so I think it does need an upgrade, so that might just happen. Jay Rich says, enjoyed the MSI B450-A Pro video. Very informative. Well, thank you very much. Harry says, wait, is Mike building the PC today? I love his PC build vids. I watched one of the Ions ones 2 times. Excellent.
It's better, 3rd time. 4th from 5th.
Yeah, you should watch it many times. No, we won't be doing the build in this one. I'm still I'm going to be selecting some of the parts. I've got some of the parts already because I've kind of been planning kind of what I'm going to do. I needed a micro ATX case, which is how this all started out. So I needed a micro ATX case, so I've been fishing around for ideas of which case to go for. I really just wanted to use the Co-Link Citadel again because I really do think that's a fantastic little case. But it's been done. I wanted to try something else. So it came down to a choice of 2, maybe 3 cases. Now, the one which I've gone with is the CIT Flash, which at the moment is 40 quid over here on Amazon. And it ticks most boxes. It's got reasonable ventilation up front. It's got TGE. It is relatively nice looking. 4 included fans, yada yada yada, etc, etc. And it's 40 quid basically. So for 40 quid with 4 fans, there's not really a great deal you can complain about, to be completely honest with you. I did consider one of the Ions ones, but I felt that I've done a lot with Ions recently, so probably best kind of moving on, trying something else. Sorry, Kath?
Is the C in this pronounced SH?
The CIT Flash, yeah, the C is silent, and there's a silent SH in front of it as well. So, yeah, do bear that in mind when you're buying it. Yeah, it's the shit case. Shit Flash. That's going to stick. Oh, I hope it doesn't. To be honest with you, it's actually a nice little case. And when I put it on the desk and I had it fired up earlier, just showing the fans, George came down and he's got Corsair cases and he likes Corsair stuff. And I said to him, oh, what do you think of the new case, George? And he's like, oh, is that one of the little Corsair ones? So, be that as it may.
I'm not sure if he had his glasses on or not.
He didn't have his glasses on, to be fair. But I can certainly see some of the similarities from the front panel. There is a kind of a slight hint of Corsair going through the design ethic on that particular case. It was recommended by someone on the Discord, and I can't remember who it was now. I do apologise. If you're in there, let us know. ClickTech Cow says, will the sit hit the fan? Funnily enough, the fans on that thing are some of the weirdest fans I've ever seen in my entire life. And I did nearly do the penis inversion with the case. It was quite... you'll see it in the review, and also we will be doing a build in this. So all the bits I'm putting together, I will be doing a live build for my sins. I don't know why I do live builds, because it's just a pain in the ass. But you guys seem to enjoy it, so I figured I'd try and do it for you. So that was the case. It was that, or what was the other option? The other option, I think, was... I was looking at one of the Techware cases. The Techware... It wasn't the Forge, because I've done that before, but it was the Techware...
Oh.
No, I can't think which Techware it was. It was one of the Techware ones anyway. It did have its appeal, but I was slightly unsure. There was another one as well, which Seam at Night on the Discord recommended. And I looked at that. Oh, the AeroCool. It was an AeroCool... Oh God, the name escapes me. Yes, Kath.
Jay Rich says, happy as a pig in sit. Can we put a little pig in it on me?
We can put a pig in it. Happy as a pig in sit, yes.
Got to. You have to
there goes the potential sponsorship for CIT. Although I think I could probably live without it. There's another super chat from good old Bob. Actually, Bob was in our the video I recorded today. Actually, I think he's appeared in another one. Or I don't know if it aired yet. Is the video aired yet with Bob in it? Someone let me know.
No, I don't think so. Which one is it?
Bob Head and Beavis.
No.
He knows what it is.
I know what, kind of, but...
Yeah, so that'll be coming out shortly. John Sullivan, I don't think so. Don't think so. Tom's Manshed says, hey Mike. Oh, shite, it's scroll down on.
Oh, say about that.
Tom's Manshed says, hi Mike, just swapped all the insides of my brother-in-law's PC to the Ions KZ16 you recently reviewed, as he is on a tight budget. Got the one with 3 RGB fans, went well and looked good. Amazing, awesome. The KZ16, I did find it was a little bit traumatic with the cable management because of lack of a basement, but for the money, I don't think you can go too far wrong. Let's go. I will need to ask for doing the shit build. Cheers, everybody. Sorry, how rude of me.
Oh god, I'm getting my wheels stuck in my cupboard. Sorry.
Oh, let's turn the RGB off. There we go. Don't want the batteries to go flat. So yes, Robert Watt says, can you do a micro ITX case? Micro ITX is it's a really weird thing. Like, small PCs
and your fingers
are fun, but they cost so much money for what they are, and you lose out on so much flexibility. I genuinely dislike mini ITX unless it's like an APU build. If you put a graphics card in, you're much better off going with micro ATX for the flexibility and also cheaper power supplies. ITX power supplies are stupidly expensive, much like everything at the moment, but those potentially more so because they always are expensive. So yes, not overly happy with mini ITX really. Tom's Manchester was a bit tight. He had a huge red N6T case that was too big for his desk. Got it. J Rich says, cheers Mike. Oh, I forgot to say, every time I mention the name Flash for the CIT case,
which you're never going to say now,
which I probably won't say again, please can you put in the chat, as in Flash, saved every one of us. The older ones amongst you will recognise that immediately, but yeah, it's a bit of fun. I won't remember it. If you do, fantastic. Right, okay. Mark Berry says, Mike, I've watched most of the case videos as my Antec case is getting on. Either the Ions KZ16 or the Colink Observatory. Haven't made my mind up 100%. I would actually consider the KZ21 for round about the similar sort of money. The KZ21 is actually a really nice case. I want to build in it, but I'm trying to work out what I'm going to put in it. Thank you, Bob. Flash Gordon is alive, yes. Good on you. Okay, let's get into this. So, well, actually, we'll talk about some of the bits that we've assembled already. Then I'm going to go over to PC Part Picker, put it all in there, work out what the hell is going on, see what money I've got left, and see what we can change to make things better. Now, I am kind of stuffed because I've got the motherboard and the processor already. So that's cost me 180 quid, give or take a pence or two, which for a 3400G with a Vega 11 is fine. Essentially, the Vega 11, if you were to replace it with a graphics card that is actually available on the market now, you would be looking at maybe the RX 550 2 gig version and the GT 1030 2 gig. All three of them, Vega 11 against those two, kind of swings and roundabouts performance-wise, but essentially they're all very similar. So the Vega 11 on there is kind of, if you were to put a ballpark value on it, as in what it would cost you GPU-wise to get the approximate same performance, I would argue, if you say £100, which is like RX 550 and the GT 1030, in the region of about 85 to 120 pounds, depending which model you get. So if we're taking a kind of a median value of 100 pounds, that is what the GPU is worth on there. So bear in mind that the whole lot with the motherboard is 180 pounds. Potentially, there's a lot of room for kind of other things to be improved, such as case, storage, etc, etc. And also, obviously, at some point, if you wanted to, you could add a graphics card when they become more available. And the ideal solution would be, because the 3400G, much like the 2400G, always sought after. It's very difficult to get one on its own. Even at recommended retail price, which is around about £200 at Currys, they're really hard to get hold of. So potentially at some point I could take that graphics card, sorry, take the APU out of the system and replace it with another processor and a graphics card when they come down to a reasonable price, and still make a killing on that processor. So that is looking really good. Guess, Kath, you were going to say something?
Robert Watts says, if you don't recommend micro ITX, what should they do for a small PC?
If you want a small PC, micro ATX is the way to go. The Colink Citadel mesh, can't fault it at all. You got the Techware Forge M, I think it was. Yes, Forge M, that was a good choice as well. Of course, you got the CIT Flash. Waiting for it. Also, what else do we have? Micro ATX that was quite good. Trying to think what else we've had.
That Kamikaze thing.
Oh, GameMax Kamikaze. The Kamikaze Pro, a little bit more expensive these days, so potentially not quite as much of a value proposition.
And teeny weenies. Those Inwings were I quite like them, but they're a bit unique.
They were ITX though, not micro ATX, but yeah, they're
ones.
good, yeah. And there's another super chat there from ClickTech Kev, 299. He says, yeah, see, you've all been doing it. Richards has joined in, Bill Taylor's joined in, Dom's joined in, Bob's joined in, J Rich, got it, saved every one of us. Yes. Do you know what? I've never actually watched all of Flash Gordon.
I haven't watched any.
I haven't watched lots of things in my life. I've missed out on so many things. Well, technically missed out. Be good if you could do like the Matrix and just download films into your brain. Oh yeah.
Give it time.
I know Flash Gordon. Oh, I know The Sound of Music. I don't really. Right. Stuart Cleary is on form tonight. Mark Levin says, I like the Cooler Master MB311L. Yeah, that's a good choice as well. To be honest with you, I was kind of tempted to go with the Q300L, which I slated ages ago. It isn't great for air, it really isn't. It does have horrendous airflow, but I'm thinking with the parts I've got, it wouldn't be that problematic. But I don't want to do it for the sake of just getting a review or revisiting a case that was popular, because just doing a video to get views is like so soul destroying. It would be interesting partially to see if things have improved with lower TDP parts and not using a graphics card. Clearly it's going to be fine. So it's kind of, yeah, I don't want to go down that route. Richard Montgomery, MB520, yeah, that's not too bad. Texway says, who is Flash Gordon? Is like a superhero. I think he was one of the early Marvel creations. Possibly. Lord Moss 13 says, Q300L is what I've just purchased for my first build. Oh dear. You'll be fine. Just put lots of things in there which don't get hot, and you'll be absolutely fine. I made the mistake, I put an FX 8350 and a GTX 780 in there, which are basically both fire starters anyway. So at that time, back then, I was really pushing the boundaries of what that case was designed for. Skystalker's in with us as well. Sorry, Scott, I saw you were in there earlier, but I didn't see you, what you said. Beer. Poor old Sky. Marbury says the Queen soundtrack was 10 out of 10. James Miscellaneous, his boss. Nice. Was Ming the Merciless. Did he do that with his beard? Ming the Merciless? Did he flick his beard? Or was that some other thing? I can't remember. Anyway, let's move on. Right, so parts that we've got in that I've got to use, or I should be using. So actually this is just stuff that I bought this week, some of it. This was a particular bargain. This is the, I really don't know how to pronounce this name. Asino or Asino. Whatever way you say it, it doesn't come across particularly appealing. Asino. Asino, it's got two N's, Asino. Anyway, regardless. So this is a M.2 drive, 480 gigabytes, M.2, PCI Express Gen 3 X4. So yeah, reasonable speeds, round about kind of 2000 megabytes read, and I think it's about 1700 write, or vice versa. I can never remember these things. But this actually cost 35 quid on Amazon, which I thought was a particularly excellent price. I've not used any of their NVMe drives, so I was looking forward to doing that. And I thought for 35 quid for half a terabyte, it's actually not too bad. It's actually pretty decent pricing. Really, at the moment, most SATA drives of around about 400, maybe 500 gig are about 40 quid anyway. So it's cheaper and I don't have to plug cables into it. So that is pretty awesome. It does have cache on it, so it is a cache drive. So you don't have to worry about it slowing down horrendously. From what I believe, it's got 512 meg of cache. Normally you have roughly like a 10% of the drive or whatever, so it should be absolutely fine. So I'm actually looking forward to using that. So that was kind of like one of my starting pieces of like, okay, now I've got the drive, now I need to put stuff around it to actually make a system. So when that turned up, that was looking good. So we got the motherboard and the 3400G. We've got our storage, so that is awesome. One of the downsides about this package is it didn't come with a CPU cooler, which I guess, well, I figured first of all it might be to do with the fact that it is an OEM chip, which it certainly seems to be. But another thing which I thought it might have been is because they were going to pack it in a small package to make it easier to send, but they didn't. They sent it in a bloody huge box. So if there was like a stock cooler, they could have put it in there quite easily, but they didn't. So when it came to coolers,
can I interrupt a second?
Yes, go on.
Is 500 gigabytes a good amount to start off, or should they get 1 terabyte?
Well, the more you can start off with is better. 512 is fine for starting off. I've known people build systems with a 240 gig. Windows will take up about 40 of that straight away. So it depends what games you're playing as well, or what you're doing. If you're just using it as an office PC, it's fine. If you're playing some games like Call of Duty and stuff, it's going to fill it up straight away. So just be mindful of what games you're playing and what their storage needs are.
Richard as well.
Lord Moss, any link for the M.2? I'll try and get it for you, and I'll put it through. I'll see if Kath can find it.
Okay, what country?
What country are you in?
No, Richard Montgomery, I mean.
Richard Montgomery.
Yeah.
Should I get that SSD instead of a Western Digital Blue 500 gigabyte? If it's the Western Digital Blue SSD, yeah, definitely it's going to be a lot faster, because that is going to be, well, almost 4 times faster over a PCI Express Gen 3. As long as you've got a board which will take it, that'll be fine. And Sir Brytech of 09ness is in with us. Good evening, Brian. How are you doing? Skystalker says, yeah, 500 gigs, great. Yeah, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. David Aiken is basically reinforcing what I said there, so you can get by with a 240 gig and a few games, just not huge ones. It's, yeah, it's whatever you can afford. But I thought, for 35 quid for that, like, that's crazy money. It really is crazy money. Hopefully it's still on offer. It was one of those kind of flash deals, but I've actually seen these pop up every now and then for a similar sort of price. So even if you've got to pay maybe £40 for it, possibly even 45, it's not the end of the world. You've of course got the TC Sunbuy range as well of SSDs. They're generally always on sale. Normally looking at like 60 to 65 for a terabyte, around about 40, 45 for a 500 gig, and the 240 gigs go for about 20, 25 pounds. So they're worth looking at. I'm pretty sure that Asino, however you pronounce it, is actually the same company as TC Sunbow, because their offices seem to be in the same place. So yeah, whether they're the same brand under different guise, maybe they do Asino drives as NVMe now, and TC Sunbow are mostly SSD. I don't know, I'm not too sure, but it certainly seemed along those kind of general lines. So that is to go with that for the build. So totaling up at the moment, 180. plus the drive, so 35. So we are at what, 215? No, yeah, 215. So that is pretty much most of this system kitted out already. When it comes to a cooler, that is where things get a little bit more tricky. I was planning to go with the Snowman, but the Snowman is a little bit of a tricky one to get, and I didn't want to sort of say, oh yeah, get one of these coolers, they're great, and then you guys try and copy what I'm doing, and then find that it's coming from China and it's going to take 6 weeks to get here. That isn't good. So I was looking at other coolers, as you know. I did get the, oh man, that Up Here cooler on Friday. That really did boil my piss, it really did. That was one of the most frustrated things ever. I was expecting it to be really, really good, but when it came and it was kind of semi-destroyed, I was very despondent about it. I will be getting another one at a later date, just to see if it is a one-off or whether they're coming through like that. But luckily, I did find actually a pretty decent alternative, which was pointed out by one of our regulars, and I'm trying to think who it was now. I think, come on brain, you can do it. Let's have a sip of beer. It might come to me while I'm drinking. No, it's gone. This was recommended. I wish I could remember what it was now. It was in the comments anyway. But this is the Vetro, or Vitro, which sounds like something you'd do to like fertilize something. Not a good noise. But anyway, this is the Vetro V5. Now, Vetro seem to be coming on pretty strong, especially on Amazon for sales purposes. I've seen these on Canada, US, and the UK. And I've kind of, yeah, it's another one of those Chinese brands, knockoff brands, or whatever. So I wasn't overly convinced about it. But someone said, they're really, really good. Try it, see what you think. And this costs £25, which for a 120mm cooler with RGB is pretty decent in this day and age, if it isn't destroyed by the packaging, which I am happy to say I have taken this out of the box and had a quick look, which I'll let you guys have a quick sneak peek at it before we do the review. But it's actually a pretty decent little setup in here. So you've got actually a really nice accessories bag there with loads of thumb screws and attachments for AM4. Looking like a decent sized thing of thermal paste as well, which is always nice to see. The actual heatsink itself, all finished in a nice matte black, and yeah, it does appear to be firmly attached on the cold plate, which is also very good. Typical sort of setup, but we have got 5 heat pipes rather than the traditional 4 or 3. Although they do look slightly narrower, or whether it's just my eyes, I don't know. Maybe they are. Let's have a quick measure. So those appear to be not easy to see without this light. Yeah, they're 6mm heat pipes, so maybe it's just where it's, you know what they say, if you want to look skinny, wear black. It don't work much, but give it a go. So that's a pretty nice looking cooler. Nice fin stack, kind of symmetrical design, so it can fit either way, although there is a V on there on the top, so you'd ideally want it that way up. So yeah, pretty decent. And it comes with a addressable RGB fan, which actually appears to be a pretty decent one, pretty rigid.
Wild Bill it was.
Wild Bill, thank you Wild Bill. So yeah, decent fan. Doesn't actually have a rating on there of the actual RPMs. Have a look, see if it's got on the box. It should have. So fan speed between 800 and 1700 RPM. So I'd imagine that's going to be a little bit on the loud side. It's 1700 RPM. Airflow up to 52 CFM, which 30 dBA. So yeah, it's not bad. As a comparison, the Arctic fans, which we reviewed actually earlier today, and we did a quick unboxing on the other week when we had the weird thing where one pack was £10 dearer than the other. Those actually get to the same CFM at 1500 RPM and a lower noise. So yeah, these aren't as good a quality fan as the ones that come in the Antec kit. So there is that to it. Obviously, for 25 quid, you've got to expect some kind of minor blemishes. The plate does appear to be soldered, yeah. I just tried to see if I can remove it, and it doesn't. There seems to be a pretty decent gap, and it does seem to be...
Brian says 4 of the AMD.
Perfectly flat.
The stock back plate instead of the plastic one.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, is this the one that you reviewed recently, Brian?
Yeah.
Ah. Awesome. We'll have to watch your video to see how to fit the bloody thing. But anyway, yeah, seems to be pretty good. So, wildlife, what was it? Wildlife?
Wild Bill.
Wild Bill. Wild Bill, thank you for suggesting that. And we'll, yeah, we'll see if it's any good. It's a good cooler. Always nice to check out a new brand, see what they're like. Realistically, as long as it's machined properly and you fit it properly, there's very little that can actually go wrong with a 120mm tower cooler. In fact, if a company managed to screw up one of these, then yeah, they are pretty much completely stupid.
Front teeth with nail clippers.
Don't do that. I just realised I must have left one of the rulers in the car. I'm missing one. I used one of those metal rulers to take my car apart today. This week. Where the hell did I leave that? Okay. So next one up, we're digressing from what the theory of this video is, but anyway, this was another one. This was actually sent to us by Ugly Bob, I believe. I think this is the one. At least I hope it is. If not, I've just been sent some random Chinese cooler. Pretty sure it's from Ugly Bob. So this is the Radiator CPU. I don't even know what brand it is. It hasn't got any branding on it. This is about as OEM as you can possibly get. Yeah, they haven't even ticked any of the boxes on the side there. So yeah, could be anything. And it's one of those. Ultimately, that isn't very helpful. But this does look like a pretty interesting. I don't even know what you'd call this.
Monstrosity.
Monstrosity is probably a good word. It does look like it's actually been damaged a bit in transit. It does look a bit bent. That back section looks like that's a little bit closer than it should be. There is a little bit of flex there, so maybe not. But this is basically two 92mm fans, RGB, on a dual 6-pipe heat stack. And let's just check, see if it's been machined properly. Not too bad, not too bad. Not quite as flat as the Ventro, or Vitro, or whatever you want to call it. But not bad. And that's a lot of heat pipes on there. So in theory, because you've got extra heat pipes there, that should mean it so you don't need such a big heat sink. And because you've got dual fans there, you've essentially got what is a push-pull setup. It's got the kind of older-fashioned AMD spring clips. And it looks like it terminates into a single, is that single? Yeah, both fans are wired into a single PWM header. So that should be quite interesting. It does like it's actually taking somewhat of a beating actually in the shipping. A lot of the fins on the side are damaged. This is often the case when you buy cheap fans from AliExpress, Alibaba, all those kinds of things. They look really good in the promotional stuff and the pricing is obviously excellent, but they do tend to be quite poorly looked after in the packaging. So let me see if I can you click on the focusy thing? If it won't do it, it might do it. There we go. So you can just about see on that edge is a little bit worse for wear. Not totally awful, but certainly there's a little bit of damage to it. But hey, it's not the end of the world. So that is going to be an interesting one. The clips on the side look to be almost impossible to remove because there's no like finger bits to actually remove them. So, oh dear, I'm not the best when it comes to spring clips. Let's be honest. And if there's no way of actually attaching it, although saying that, you don't really need to remove them.
Only took 10 days to arrive.
10 days to arrive, that is actually pretty good. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that performs. In theory, because of the amount of the copper on there, that itself should do a really good job. I'm not too sure what I want to test it on. I might end up putting it in the PC behind me on the Ryzen 5 3600 to see how well it does on there. But certainly a very interesting design. It is going to be fixed RGB, I think, looking at the exposed RGBs in there, but yeah, should be an interesting one. So thank you very much, Bob, for sending that. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but I might turn around and do a little giveaway for you guys, so if anybody wants one. Obviously, if it's no good, then I won't give it away, because it's pointless giving it away if it's useless. But I think realistically, it's going to be absolutely fine.
How much does it cost?
I don't know how much it costs, actually. Bob's probably the person to ask for that. I'm imagining probably about £20, I guess. But I don't know.
It should be RGB to process.
Yes, they are. Yeah, it does say they're RGB. There's not an RGB header.
23 quid.
23 quid. So yeah, that's about right. So
Shipping.
yeah, the shipping's going to come into that as well. But certainly a very interesting looking cooler. It says on the side suitable for LGA 775, 1150, 1151, i7, i5, i3, etc. Core 2 Duo, Celeron Pentium 4, Pentium 4, AMD, AM2 all the way through to FM2, FM4, AM4. Yeah, basically anything. It'll fit on pretty much everything. The only thing it won't fit on is the that weird Intel setup. Is it 2011 ILM or something?
Where did it come from?
I don't know. Where did it come from? Was it AliExpress? Literally, when it turned up, it was like in an envelope, so it didn't have any markings on it whatsoever. Anyway, we'll be having some fun checking that out. Got myself. This is on offer at the moment. I'm not sponsored or affiliated with. Yeah, I know. This is the Arctic MX4 thermal compound. Normally, this stuff works out to be about, I think it's £2 per gram. So if you're buying a 2 gram one, it's 4 quid. If you're buying a 4 gram one, it's about 8 quid. This is I think this is 20 gram. I hope. Why does it not say anywhere? Stupid.
It says it's just your
Oh yeah, net weight 20 grams. So you've got 20 grams in there, so in theory that should be 40 quid. But it was on special offer on Amazon for £8.
18.
No, sorry, £18. So yeah, rather than being like 40 quid, it's basically less than half price. So if you're after some MX4 and you get through a lot of it, like I tend to do, then this is worth doing at the moment. Again, I'll try and get Kath to put a link in the chat box there so you guys can pick it up. But yeah, that is really good value for 18 quid or whatever it was. For 20 grams, yeah, really good value for money. So definitely try and get some of that. I'm not going to even talk about that, I don't think. That still frustrates me. This is the new Arctic Bionics P120 addressable RGB fan, which one of the key selling features of this is the fact that you can daisy chain them and link them together, like you can with the Lian Li fans. But Arctic have only sent me one, so I can't link them together to show the key and primary benefit of actually buying these fans. I'm still working out how on earth I can actually make a video which makes sense on these. Arctic, if you're watching, I do apologise. I will get a brainwave eventually. It may take a while.
I've been waiting for years.
Yeah. The one thing I did notice, actually, the airflow on this is actually quite low. This is only rated at 48 CFM, which is actually pretty low. And I think a lot of that is because the blades have actually been shrunk. Even though it's a 120mm fitting fan, the blades have been shrunk to fit the RGB around the outside. So the blades themselves are maybe like 100mm. So you do lose some of that sheer volume because of the RGB, which I'm not sure if people would really appreciate that. I'm still undecided on these. I need to test them really, but testing one is a really difficult thing to do. But anyway, let's move on. Bob says, yes, AliExpress. Thank you, Bob. Ugly Bob says, ooh, MX4, that's the one that tastes the best. Kids, don't eat MX4. It's very bad for you. Although if you want to get offered going back to school on Monday, no, don't do it. Don't do it, kids. Seriously, don't eat thermal paste. Especially the carbon stuff.
Metal is not designed to be in your body.
It's not designed to be in you. Mark Lewin says it's enough for Steve of Gamers Nexus to do at least 3 builds. I think it might be. Oh no, we buffering?
Not on my phone.
CPU, no, just it was on there just in a second, that's okay. Arctic 4, Caps put it in the chat, sort out. David Aiken says, sort it out Arctic, it's a fan, not a GPU. I know. David Aiken says a single budget fan isn't much. It's not even a budget fan. These are really expensive. Well, have a rough guess. Have a guess now in the chat. How much do you think a single Bionics P120 addressable RGB fan is? And also, how much do you think it's actually worth, or what you would pay for it? I think you'll be surprised how expensive these are. I know it's a high quality unit. It feels really, really heavy. It feels almost as heavy as those Thermaltake ones, which were, yeah, absolute monsters. Harry saying 50 quid. Shadow says $1 million. Not quite. X4 part of your 5 a day. John Sullivan says 29.99. Says David Thompson. David Aiken. David Thompson says 25 quid. Mickey says 18. I'm pretty sure these are about somewhere between 25 and 30 quid a fan, which for me personally, I think is too much. I don't care what fan it is. Like the Corsair ones. The Corsair fans are ridiculously expensive. What are they, like 100 quid for a 3-pack? Which, given the choice, I'd probably go with the Corsair ones over these, personally. And I don't really like Corsair, so that's saying something. These, for me, need to be around about £15, £16.
How much was that actually?
To actually make sense. I think they're about 25, somewhere between 25 and 30. Arctic always do that. They price their fans a little bit on the pricey side, but then they have crazy deals, like where they're virtually half price.
DFS.
And it's like a DFS sale every now and then with Arctic. They do that all the time. And you quite often get these value packs that come around for really, really good money, or like £4 a fan, which for Arctic fans is great because they are really good fans. But I still think for most people, if you're putting RGB into a case, you're looking at a minimum of 3, maybe 4 fans. At which point, that's 100 quid on fans. And they'd have to be some seriously good fans for them to be worth 100 quid. There's only so much cooling a fan can do to make your system that good that £100 upgrading a processor wouldn't, if you get what I mean. I'd much rather spend 100 quid on the next level processor or next level of graphics card rather than trying to tame the one I've already got with 100 quid fans. It's going to be an interesting review. Big Drip says fans should be 10 to 15 quid per fan. Yeah, totally. David Aiken says, geez, that's QL fan money. At least you get their IQ software support. I know. Stuart Cleary says, I think between 25 and 30 pounds. Yeah, that is basically what they go for.
I'll hurry up and empty it.
Arctic P12 fans are amazing. They are. To be fair, the Arctic P12 fans are exceptionally good. Cosmic Space Muffin says the 5-pack from Arctic is a good deal. It definitely is. Harry says, can you do a review on Goldfield CPU? AIO maybe one day. Yep, Caps right down. So
Goldfield or Goldenfield?
I think it's Goldenfield. Isn't it Goldenfield? I think I have looked at some of their stuff already. Mark Berry says, that's dear, German engineering. Yes.
BMW fans.
David Aiken says, the budget white Arctic fans I bought from you were cracking. Cheap frames, but they were quiet and shift a lot of air. Yeah. The P12s have a harsh echo at certain RPM. I think, actually, I used to find with the Freezer 33, I think it was, that depending where I mounted the fans actually onto the heatsink, at certain RPMs, it would actually whistle, where it wasn't quite lined up properly. And it's the only CPU cooler I've ever found that happen. James Miscellaneous says, David Aiken, finally an internet person spells quiet correctly. I'm thankful you exist.
I thought you were going to say quite then.
Quite, I was going to say it.
James, that is annoying to me too.
Mark title says no GPU. Yes, that's right. No. Right, let's get on to what we're actually supposed to be doing. So spec out this build. So we're going to head over to PC Part Picker now, which hopefully is going to be on screen so you chaps and chapesses can see. So I've already populated some of this. So this is our Ryzen 5 3400G. Now normally the price for this is like crazy, 200 quid or something. But because I've got it as a deal with the motherboard, then I've manually put the price in as what I would estimate the processor to be worth on its own. So being I bought the bundle for £180, I'm going to say that the processor is 130 and the motherboard is approximately 50, which means I've got a bit of a discount. The motherboard generally tends to retail around about 50 to 55, maybe £60. So we're going to go with that. Now the reason I chose the board is because the DS3H V2, if I can find it, there we go. So bloody hell, that's dear. 68 quid. Let's add it anyway. Warning, Will Robinson. Yes, there will be. Yeah, I don't care about that. So this particular board, the Gigabyte B450 MDH3 V2, you're probably looking at it and going, well, why is it the V2? What have they changed? What is the benefit of the V2 moniker on the end? And the real reason is, if you look at the specs side by side on the actual Gigabyte site, they're the same. Exactly the same. It's the same board, same layout, same everything. The only thing which has changed, it took me ages to find out, was a very, very small part of the marketing blurb. One of them says that it is a digital hybrid VRM, whereas the other board, the new one, is a digital VRM. So essentially the older board, the standard DS3H, has a digital and analog VRM, which in kind of layman's terms means, I use the analogy of a watch. So if you've got an analog watch and a digital watch, if someone says to you, what is the time? If you've got an analog watch, you'll give a guesstimation. So if it's kind of somewhere almost close to, say, quarter to, what time is it now? Say it's coming up to 10 past 10, which is what it is now. So an analog person would look at a watch and go, oh, it's 10 past 10, because it's almost 10 past 10. Whereas if you had a digital watch, you would say the time is 10:08, which would be an accurate time reading. Now that is almost the same way as how it works for VRMs on a motherboard. So with a analog VRM, for overclocking or for precision boost overclocking, your motherboard would need to do an approximation of a digital value into an analog format. So what that would normally mean is basically you'd offset. So you'd add an offset to your voltage. So say for instance, you're putting your CPU at 1.35 volts and an offset of 0.3. That is basically an analog kind of, is a guesstimate essentially. Whereas if you have a digital VRM, you can actually put in the value directly. So you could put in 1.355 or 1.35555 if you wanted to, depending on what the motherboard is. So basically it's a more accurate VRM. So it will deal with spikes and voltage transitions. So when you're going from one kind of state to another, it can react much quicker and much more accurately, which means essentially a more responsive system, but ultimately a more stable system because the voltage that is required is given exactly. So hopefully, hopefully I've not kind of lost anyone on that. I've tried to give a basic analogy as kind of how I see it. Could be completely wrong, but that is essentially, without going into the real kind of nano minutiae of it, that is essentially what it does. So not a bad board. The VRM is actually a 4-phase, so it's a 4+2. The original board, the non-V2, was a 4+3 phase. So they've dropped one of the analog phases from the other board and converted it into 2 digital phases. So yeah, essentially it's a better board and it will overclock a little bit. Not hugely, but it still will support Ryzen 5950. Bizarrely, they actually list it on their site. So yeah, that is that's what we're going with. So that's our motherboard and processor, as we said already. and I'm gonna have to manually change that to make sense. So I have to put in, I paid 179, so if I say 49, that's me, sorry.
I'm reading the questions.
What the hell? It's Christmas! What have I put? Oh, I know what it was, because I put the bloody price in, didn't I, using the number pad? Moron. Right. Right, mental note to self. If you set up OBS and you set up your camera switching on your number pad on your keyboard, when you try and override prices on a website, don't use the number pad, because it ends up doing all kinds of stupid stuff. Oh, what a moron. Ugly Bob's £2 says, Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy Christmas, everyone. I wish it was Christmas again. I missed Christmas, really, this year. I didn't, because I was here, on the planet. But it seemed, I don't know what happened. Christmas was a bit weird this year, wasn't it?
I quite liked it.
I can't remember it. Did we actually do anything?
No, it didn't work.
Oh yeah, it didn't work. Did I have a day off?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I think you answered questions.
I'll probably answer questions. Oh dear. Right, okay. Right. What a moron. Right, back to where we were. So, CPU cooler. So, CPU cooler, we don't have one, so I do have to add one. I might wait to the end and see what money we've got left in the kitty before I make a decision there. I could use one of the ones I've got here already, but we'll see what is available.
You've offended David now.
Why have I offended David?
That wooden box full of stuff.
Oh God, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, the Christmas gift. Yeah, I remember that. Keep on tripping over the bloody thing.
It's the cat's bed.
The cat's bed. They love it. Right, moving on swiftly. Right, choose storage. So we've got some storage already. So let's see if we got the asshole brand on here. Arsenal. Nope. Okay, that's where we stumbled in. Oh, I've spelled it wrong, haven't I? Yeah. Right, let's do TC Sunbow. TC Sunbow, have they got an NVMe? No, they haven't. Right, for argument's sake, I'm just going to chuck in the 450. Actually, saying that, if I put in the TC Sunbow X3, because that's the same price, give or take. So, yeah. I might just... Oh. Right, let's go back. Let's go back.
Where's our Christmas card gone?
It's behind there. Somewhere. Oh.
I can't believe you kept that, to be honest.
Well, Christmas card is one of the only Christmas cards I've ever kept, I think.
I know it is.
Oh, it's got writing on the back. No, I'm joking. Oh, dear.
They can't see anyway, can they?
I know. I quite like that. Right. Can I add a manual thing? Oh, let's just choose storage. What the hell? 480 GBs. Corsair 150. I'm trying to think what is going to be a similar spec. Probably the Lexar. So let's add, is that NVMe, M.2? Yes. I'll throw that in, but I'm going to change the price in, because that's just ridiculous. Manually enter price. I've done a lot of this at the moment. I think it was $34.99. Oh crap, I've done it again. Damn it! Can't have to tell me whenever I start entering the price to use my laptop keyboard, not the other thing. Moron. Right, how much have we got at the moment? So £213, so we're doing all right. Choose a case. So the case we've gone with currently is the CIT Flash, which I paid on Amazon, $39.99. So we're going to add that. And actually, I'll leave the prices at because no, actually, sod it. I'm going to change it.
Enter it in with a link. Just add it in with a link.
Oh yeah, but I have to go onto my Amazon account now, won't I think. So save that. So where are we at the moment?
Tape over your number pad.
Yeah, I should do actually, shouldn't I? So power supply. And power supply, obviously, I'm gonna have to go with the I have to go with the CIT one, but I'm not gonna go with the Cylon. Where's the Aero Cools when you want them? Aero Cool.
Okay.
Tell you what, just to switch things up a bit, I'll go with the Aero Cool Integrator, just for simplicity. Because that's actually a decent power supply, 80 plus bronze, 500 watts. It's not modular or anything, but for this particular build, it's going to be absolutely fine. And we got a super chat from our good friend Stuart Cleary, €20, and says, "Love the budget build videos. Half pissed on a Saturday night. Me, not you." On PCP. Gotta say the PCP. Thank you, Stuart. Appreciate that.
I don't know why I turned the light off because they can't even see.
I don't know why you turn the light off. It's a force of habit. So I think that actually that's all we need. No, RAM. Let's have some RAM and a cooler. Right, choose memory. Realistically, I wonder if V color's on here. I don't think V color is. V color, because that's what I'll probably use. No. All right, let's just do a search. We'll use the filters on the side. So if you guys haven't used this before, you can actually filter all this stuff. So we want 16 gigs, so 2x8. And color we're not particularly worried about. Latency I'm not particularly bothered about. Or the timings for now.
Ballistic is £70 on Amazon.
So let's see what we got. Corsair Vengeance, the Crucial Ballistic, 16 gig. DDR4 3200.
Timetech RAM, best value.
Not bad. Timetech. Oh yeah, Timetech. Yeah, I've seen that on Amazon. That's quite cheap stuff, isn't it? What else have we got? Let's sort by price. Or is it? No, it's not, is it? Can't be far off. So I don't want any green stick nonsense going on because that's just ridiculous. And that's not a bad shout actually. Patriot. I know, DDR266. So let's see what the cheapest DDR. PMY Anarchy, 70 quid, not bad. Crucial Ballistics in black or white. What else have we got? It's anything a little bit quicker for not too much money, because we will see a very, very slight benefit. Actually, Crucial Ballistics DDR4 3600 for an extra 7 quid.
Is that 70 quid?
A little bit faster, 76 for a slightly faster set. So that might be the way forward. Yeah, I'll go with that. We've got a little bit in the budget. We've got a little bit left in the tank. So where are we at the moment? We're at 363. Damn it. Something's gone wrong somewhere. Or has it? No, I think that is right, isn't it? So we've just burst our budget somewhat. So let me see, what can we save? It's not really a great deal we can do. We could probably save on the power supply. We could get the Cylon, which would take off. Yeah, we can probably take off about another £10, which will be about £3 over budget.
It's not BBC.
It isn't the BBC, so sod it. To hell with it. Screw you and your budget. Let's see what CPU coolers we can get. Let's get the most expensive one. Actually, wonder what the most expensive cooler is for AM4. Oh, it's a Corsair one. There's a bloody surprise. £368, 45 pence for a Corsair Corsair H100i V2. That, I would imagine, is a mistake. Thermaltake Walter 3.0 Extreme S. That seems to be a mistake. They can't be that expensive, surely. Let's have a look. Yeah, I was expecting to see something a bit more expensive than that actually, but there we go. Alright, we're being silly now. So
PSU.
no, this PSU actually isn't a bad one. It's exactly the same as the EVGA, the 500 watt. Exactly the same specs. And the same as the Be Quiet Pure 500. So cooling wise, what have we got? The Arctic Alpine 64 GT would kind of do it, but that's a little bit too cheap. So what else have we got? Freezer 7, doable. Not a bad little cooler actually. The UX 100, no thank you.
Richard Montgomery says you can get ballistic 3200 red on Amazon for £70.75.
I did look at this £70 stuff. That for the extra frequency, I think is money well spent. But thanks for pointing it out though. So far, CPU cooler prices are absolutely insane, especially on PC Part Picker. Like really insane. Tell you what, let's open up incognito. Oh, how do I do incognito? New incognito window. There we go. So let's go to the Amazon. Eddie Murphy coming to America too. Must watch that. So CPU cooler. Yeah, whatever. Let's have some cookies. There's irony up here or down there. So sort by price. And that's probably not a good idea because it's going to bring up a whole load of crap. Yep, paste all sorts. Goldenfield. It has potential, but no, I don't think so. All sorts of nonsense here. There doesn't seem to be many options. Where have all the coolers gone? It's like the world's dried up. Right, let's have a look at how much is the Ventro. Let's put the Ventro in. Ventro CPU V5. Let's just see whichever ones they do. Ventro 31, 20 quid off, 20% off of the voucher. Doesn't seem too bad. That's the same one. Noctua U12. Yeah, that's a little bit too much for a minuscule pissant budget. That's not bad. ID cooling. 35 quid's a bit expensive though. That does look quite nice actually. D15? No, I don't think so. Up here, CPU van, that does seem alright. And there's another super chat from good old Glenn. Glenn ALZ81 from ROR Racing. Or, yeah, racing's in the thing. Gelid Phantom was 32 quid on Amazon the other day. It was actually, I did see that. The Gelid Phantom for 32 quid is an amazing van. And actually competes really, really well with the Noctua high-end ones as well. We're not doing well. Oh, actually, the Game Max GTE.
I've done that light again when I didn't need to.
You have done that light again. Silly sausage. Right, let's just admit defeat here.
What did you call me?
Silly sausage. Right, so what's 20% off of £32, someone? I'm thinking it's going to be about £6 off, isn't it? Hey Google, what is 20% off of 32?
Sorry, I didn't understand, but I found something similar. Do you want to know what 20% off's?
No. I think it's about 25 quid. I think that's what I paid for that Vectra.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Shut up! God damn it! Stop it! Go to sleep. Right. We'll go with the Ventro. Or Vetro. Vetro! Right, let's add it. I can add it, can't I, from now? So... Oh, God. Copy. Oh, no, that's copied everything. Oh, copy everything. I just want that. That's it. Thank you. I should have got my mouse. Go back. And we're going to add a custom part. Boosh. Create part.
Don't use your numpad.
I won't. CPU cooler. Part price, say 25 because I just had enough of that. Save custom part. So I think that is it. We've got a processor, we've got a cooler, we've got our motherboard, we've got our RAM, we've got our NVMe drive, we've got our CIT flash, saved every one of us case. Actually, not a bad looking case. And apart from the obvious issue with it being glass at the front, and it is actually glass as well, not plastic, I was thinking it was going to be plastic. It's actually glass in front, but the easy way to remedy the airflow, which actually isn't that bad anyway, is to just put the fans behind the metal. And the slots on the side, which you can see just here, actually work very well as ventilation. There's also a big cutout on the bottom and also a big cutout on the top, so it doesn't really suffer anyway. But the fans aren't adjustable, so they are a little bit on the noisy side from my personal preference, but I think it's going to work out absolutely fine.
You only got 2 hours. I
only got 2 hours, you bastards. So anyway, yes, quite a nice case actually. For 40 quid, can't go wrong, can you?
What's it called?
The CIT Flash. Oh, you swine. Steve Wright says, airflow saved every one of us. Yeah, hopefully you will. We better do. Slim Pickens says that Vetro must be made by the same people making Ars game coolers, or Airs, that are sold in the US. They look identical. They probably are made by some OEM or ODM and just sell everything else. Dutch Jan says it looks like the Charcoon TKS RGB. Yeah, it does actually. TK4. Yeah, I know what you mean there. John Sullivan says delayed. Dave Bell says arse. Thanks. Flash Gordon's alive? I think so. Matthew Day says need a can of ass. How do you pronounce that? Joa Bruno. Which graphics card, Mike? None. We are not using a graphics card because the graphics card is built into the chip. So the processor itself is, actually they're going to have any explanation of it there? Don't think they are. Oh, there we are, yeah. So 4 cores, 3.7 gigahertz. I wasn't far off, I think I said 3.6. Boost clock 4.2, which I said, yes, I believe I did. 65 watt TDP, Zen Plus Picasso, and integrated graphics is the Radeon Vega 8 graphics. So yeah, built-in graphics, which again is roughly the same as a GT 1030. Obviously, this is a system ready to be put in another graphics card if you wanted to. There's no reason why you couldn't, and it'll work out okay. So our estimated wattage as it stands is 149 watts. And we've got a 500 watt power supply, so we've got plenty of wiggle room there.
Vega 11, do you mean?
Vega 11, yeah, what did I say?
Vega 8, I think.
I lied. Yeah, Vega 11. So our total came up to 388.81, which I was hoping to be around about the 350 mark. Of course, we can shave off with the power supply if we change that to the Cylon, the AeroCool Cylon.
What is flash storage? Those
currently £27, so we can save that. Flash storage is going to be the well, it says Lexar, but it's not. It's the Asino. Actually, let's open that up on Amazon and see what it's going for currently. Third-party gift cards? No, don't want AC and O. Wonder if it's still 35 quid. Don't think it's gonna be. Oh, I don't know, it might be. 512. No, that's a different one again next. 512 rather than. What is the brand of that? So, a Sino V SSD. I think it's just a generic box. Yeah, that's a different box. Oh, actually, no, is that? Oh, that is the same box. What model is that? Part number, SSD, AS25. Let's see if I can find AS25. AS25. No, it doesn't seem to be on there. I don't know why that's not on there now. What are their SSDs like? Yeah, they seem to have jumped up in price again. It's always the way with these things. You get them on sort of special deals and that. They don't tend to last very long. But if you don't mind waiting around, then you can generally pick them up. Yeah, they're not listing. That's AS25. But that's weird because the AS20... Actually, I should open this and make sure it is actually an NVMe. I bet it isn't. Actually, no, it's not, is it? It's not an NVMe. It is an SSD. I think. I better have a look. It's been so long since I ordered it, I can't remember what it was. No, it is an SSD, a SATA 3 SSD. I lied to myself. And all of you. Hello?
What is flash storage question was a trick.
Oh, what is flash storage question? Yeah, it is. It's actually a SSD. I don't know where I got the idea that it was an NVMe for 35 quid. I must have been smoking something particularly potent that day. Oh dear. But it was 35 quid. But now it's 55. If SSD price has gone up that much in a week, that seems bizarre. So, yeah, well, for me it's going to work out less than what it was there, but if you're looking for an SSD, it's going to be a tough one. Let's have a look for SSD, 500 gig, and sort by price.
Does it have an ARGB header?
What's that?
That board.
No, it doesn't have an ARGB header, which is good because the case actually has its own, so it takes care of all that for you.
Ricardo's here.
Hey Ricardo! I'm sorry I'm late to the stream. It's alright, you haven't missed anything. I don't think, anyway. Deals, today's deals. Is there going to be... No, I don't think there is. So, as with most things, I think the SSD thing is going to be... just have to keep your eyes open and see what comes up. But they do seem to have jumped up in price quite a bit. I don't know, I paid 35 quid for it, so... Patrick LaBelle says on AliExpress the 3400G is more expensive than the 4350, but the 4350 is performing a bit better, probably due to motherboard compatibility. The 4350G, I think that's got better, because that uses Zen 2 rather than using Zen Plus, so you do get the performance uplift on there. I think the graphics are still Vega 10, so it's going to be slightly less, but the processor is going to push things along, so yeah, it is swings and roundabouts. Yeah, David Aiken says, yeah, it's 12 volt RGB only on the Gigabyte board, which is sad, but not the end of the world. Most of the time these days,
put your glass in there.
Yeah, just put a RGB beer glass in there, or most cases now have got their own integrated lighting systems anyway. So it's actually, for me, it's one of those things. I'm going to put the system together and hopefully pass it on to someone who's going to make use of it for gaming. So it would be good to have it as simple as possible. So literally just press the button on the case to change the lighting, which is always much better than having software and things going wrong. We've had that in Discord this week where people have had graphics cards and they've just stopped displaying or done weird stuff to the RGB, then stopped working altogether. RGB is an absolute nightmare. Hugh, could I run an NVMe M2 with Windows 10 and an SSD with Linux. You could do, but you'd still need to have some, well, one of them, either the Windows 10 or Linux, would have to have some sort of bootloader. So then you could choose which operating system to go into. I would probably, well, depending on which one you use the most, I would be tempted, if you've got a reasonably good machine, I would probably run a virtual machine inside of either Windows 10 or a virtual machine inside of Linux, depending if your system's got enough horsepower, and depending what you need to use Linux for, or what you're using Windows for. It's a bit of an odd one, because Linux isn't particularly well known for gaming, so I'd say if you're gaming, you want all the horsepower on your Windows 10, and then if you're doing stuff in Linux like programming or server stuff, then run it as a virtual machine. Or run a virtual machine inside of a virtual machine and have a whole kind of, is it Deception? What's that film, Kath? Where they had a dream inside of a dream inside of a dream?
Inception.
Inception. That's the one.
Oh, it tired me out.
Yeah, that was hard work, that film. Richard Montgomery says a town near me had a flash flood recently. Good one. Ugly Bob says, I wish I had bought that motherboard and CPU deal now. It probably will be back. From what I can tell, they've just released, the company that were doing this deal is on UK Hot Deals. They've actually got another deal at the moment for a Ryzen 5 3600 with this same board, I think for 210, maybe £215, which, bear in mind that the Ryzen 5 3600 is kind of £180 roughly, so you're getting the motherboard for like 40 odd quid. Seems pretty decent, and it's posted as well. Hugh says running CAD. Oh, what, you're running CAD in Linux? Oof, I don't know then. Mark Lewin says Microsoft has great Linux virtualization with WSL2. There you go, there's a potential answer.
Which laptop would you recommend for school gaming for Abdel?
A laptop for school gaming is very difficult these days. I would probably go with one of these actually, the Acer Nitro. The Acer Nitro 5, I think, at the moment. That's pretty decent, good pricing. Got a bit of everything. The only thing I would say it needs really from the get-go is an extra 8 gigs of RAM. It comes with 8, but really Windows needs 16 these days.
Nick Barnes.
Nick Barnes. Are Vega 11 graphics equivalent to my old GTX 750 1GB? The Vega 11 graphics are basically equivalent to the Radeon RX 550 2GB and the GT 1030 2GB. So I think the GTX 750 1GB, it probably will be better than that. You'll probably find that, because the 1GB is going to struggle to load any texture, so you're going to get problems with that. It's got the grunt, but it hasn't got the VRAM, so the VRAM is going to be a problem there. I've never directly compared the GTX 750 to a Vega 11. I had a 750 Ti, and I've got to be honest with you, I wasn't overly impressed with it. So, saying that, the Vega 11 isn't overly impressive. I've mostly used Vega 8. So I'm interested to see how well the Vega 11 does. Bearing in mind, most of the time I'm going to be doing kind of Rocket League, Counter-Strike Source, or CSGO rather. I think it's going to be a pretty interesting proposition. Ugly Bob says Vega 11 are really good. Awesome. John McKenna's got $5 and says, Mike, you are awesome, keep up the good work. Thank you, John. Appreciate that. Who paid you to say that? Richard Montgomery says 7% better. What was that for? Not too sure. Ricardo says the GTX 750 is better than most of the iGPUs. Yeah, you're finding now that a lot of games seem to be coded with iGPUs in mind. So as we're starting to lose support for drivers with some of the older NVIDIA and AMD stuff, more so probably NVIDIA, they seem to be dropping stuff off quite quickly. So yeah, surprising. You'll be surprised what Vega 8 and Vega 11 can actually run. some things I would have thought, no, never in a million years, and they just run and they look pretty good. Things like GTA 5, for example, actually runs really good on Vega 8 or Vega 11. Yes.
Ben asks, what's the best case for £50?
Best case for £50.
And what is the case in the thumbnail?
The case in the thumbnail is the CIT Flash.
It wasn't a joke.
Saved every one of us. That's £40 at the moment on Amazon.co.uk. Kath's already put a link in the chat somewhere, I think, for it.
Don't think I have.
You can get it from CCL and stuff like that, a little bit dearer, but Amazon.co.uk seems to be the cheapest at the moment, £40.
I haven't got any links in.
I would potentially. Everyone's in the chat. I love that. I can't wait till I do the build. That's going to be so fun. Actually, I've got Amazon window open now, so I can do that, can't I? What was it? CIT Flash. Oh, bastards, has gone up. I know, more buy-in choices. There are $39.50. So yeah, price there is $46.95. If you go down to 4 new from $39.50, there we go. That's dispatched and sold by Amazon as well. So if you don't like it, you can just send the damn thing back. Ironically, actually, Kazaa UK, who are the distributors for Ions in the UK, actually
A few people get
got it there.
by everyone screaming in the chat.
There's a lot of people. For those of you that are wondering, every time I say CIT Flash or Flash, then years ago there used to be, I'm looking at the camera, years ago there used to be a superhero called Flash Gordon, who was the saviour of the universe and fought against Ming the Merciless. And yeah, that was the thing. Flash, saved every one of us. It's an old Queen song as well, so yeah, it's probably more of a British thing, possibly. I don't know, maybe. So that's why I was going, he did it again. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh dear. Anyway, moving on. So there is the CIT case. I'm not going to say the name that cannot be said. They didn't say it. I didn't say it. There you go, £39.50. Dispatched from and sold by Amazon. It's just worked out I can do that. Zoom, that's good. So yeah, it's actually a nice case. The RGB setup in it is shit, to be completely fair. Basically, it's a SATA cable into your power supply. The fans are controlled by a button on the top of the case. There isn't a pass-through to change the RGB via the motherboard, which for me personally suits me fine, but for some people that may be a deal breaker. If you're looking for a case maybe this size or slightly bigger, I really do recommend, well, the best one really is the GameMax F15. Where are we? GameMax F15 mesh. That, if you've got £70, there isn't a better case you can buy, in my opinion. It's got it all. Vertical GPU mount, tons of storage on the top for radiators, 2 bastard enormous fans on the front, mesh, airflow, nice PSU shroud. It comes with a GPU adapter bracket so you can vertically mount as well, straight out of the box. It kind of seals the deal for me. It's got everything you could possibly want. The RGB hub is great. It's got remote control, or you can have the pass-through. It really genuinely is the best case I've probably ever used. There's not really any downsides apart from possibly the cutout on the PSU shroud. As you can see just in there, that cutout is a little bit of a nose. Not having any rubber grommets potentially could be a deal breaker for some, and some people don't like 200mm fans, but I still think it's probably one of the best cases, if not the best case ever made for that money. I really do. And against the Lian Li 215, mine's already gone back, been returned because it died. So yeah, that is good. Very nice case. But if you want to spend a little bit less than that, which if you've got 50 quid, you probably do, then the KZ21. from Ions, which I don't know if is actually on Amazon.
It's on eBay.
Yeah, it might be eBay.
I think they are on board. No.
Is I can open a new Cognito yet? eBay. Oh, you stupid thing. eBay. eBay. Jesus Christ.
Even my spell check doesn't understand
What a moron. KZ21 case. Why is it not? Am I being stupid? Is that the wrong name for it, Kath? KZ21? I'm sure it's KZ21. Where's the box? I'm living in a... Yeah, KZ21. KZ21 case. Ions KZ21. Why didn't it find... Oh, items out of stock. Oh. Yeah, don't buy that one in. For 40 quid, I think this is a fantastic little case. It really is. It's a really nice build quality. Got a hinged window on the side. You've got the panel on the front with really nice air filter underneath that. It's just really is a really nice all-rounder. It goes by the Segotap name around the rest of the world. But yeah, it's actually really nice. When I looked at it originally, I thought that the top was going to be awful because of this pinhole type thing, but they actually changed that in the latest design. So it's got a proper honeycomb mesh and air filters. But yeah, it just looks... It looks very stylish, I think. Each to their own, but yeah, anyway, I like it. So that's enough of that. Am I licking the keyboard? Slim Pickens says DIY-A9W, super nice case for less than 40 USD. That is, there's a lot of, it's funny that there's a lot of American cases which we don't get over here. Markovsky says the Force MTG is nice. The Forge MTG, yeah, that is actually. I think that is Micro licking the keyboard. Yeah, it does seem like it, doesn't it? Antec NX800, very similar. Yeah, I think which one was it? There's been a few cases I've seen recently, and it's like looks really nice, and then it's got an acrylic side panel. It's like, you do realise this 2021, we don't do acrylic side panels anymore.
Did you ever get around to confirming the Arctic Freezer 13X has a 100mm fan and not a 92mm fan?
Ooh, no, I didn't. Where is it? Oh, it's in that bloody PC, isn't it? Let's have a look. Is the... If I can get to the box... Oh no, power supply's in there. Very cool. Oh my god, this is really... Ouch! No, that's ruined my testicles. Oh, Jesus Christ. You shouldn't be getting old people to do this kind of stuff. It's ageist. Hello, cats.
Oh, they want to come up now.
Don't. Freezer A13A. Because I've got it in a build, you see. That's a bit... It's interesting being down here, isn't it?
Look a little taller.
On my knees. Where's the measurement? So the fan says 1 by 92mm. The shroud itself is 110mm. So yeah, it is a 92mm fan. That's what it says on the box. Which is actually always generally wrong, because they never... I don't think they measure the fan blades, do they? They measure the actual... the fan's aperture, so like side to side or something. Because a 120mm fan isn't 120mm fan.
Testes gone see it.
My testes have gone flash.
But Richard Montgomery thinks you don't need them.
I don't need them.
Yeah, apparently.
Cheers for that. Kath normally looks after them anyway. I really wish I had the other camera set up so people could see what I have to go through to do this. I don't think it would get under, to be honest. And also, I think I'm about to burst some kind of blood vessels. There probably is a better time and place for this, but...
It's kind of like from Jenga.
It is. It's like bloody Jenga underneath this table. There is...
Being Jenga into Tetris.
There is a Monopoly board game. There is the in-win... I don't even care what case that is. What case is... What is that in-win one? The fabric one?
Mini Mike is taking over the screen. Burn.
It's a mini mic.
Burn Troya. Oh, I love doing big.
There's a Nito vacuum in there, which is still...
Wait, you see that spider run across the room?
Nito D4 vacuum. There's the KZ16 case build. There's the KZ21 build there. The Synology box there. And a load of motherboards. It's just ridiculous. And I got
a room tour now.
a room tour.
Yeah.
Oh god, I've been meaning to do that at some point.
I've got a hide.
Calf will have to run away. Scaredy calf.
Got a live audience.
Mm-mm.
I want you to do it now.
Emporium says you should get the KZ18 for the 350 build. Cosmic Space Muffin says no DeWalt power tools under there. No, they're actually over in that cupboard. Mini-me, Michael Myers voice. I can't remember how to... I can't remember how he speaks. It's just high pitched, isn't it?
Oh, I love Will. Remember when he was in Big Brother?
I do.
Crashed into the door.
He got drunk on Big Brother and crashed his little motorised cart into the door.
Oh, so cute.
That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. I actually did nearly have a little man-wee watching that.
Over and over.
It was funny. Ah, dear. Right, I think that's pretty much going to wrap this one up, guys. I think I've answered pretty much all the questions and we've...
There was one more. There was...
Where is it? Someone else? Someone said tables are great for hiding under. They definitely are. Watch out for the spiders. Yep, did that. Yeah, I think that is... Waldo135 says, I'm going to get the Game Max F15. Waldo, that is a very sensible thing to do. I would definitely... If it wasn't for the fact that I do YouTube stuff and I need to keep on buying new stuff, I would buy the Game Max F15 over and over and over and over again. I genuinely would. If it got cheaper, under £70, that would be amazing. I think actually, when I bought it, which was the beginning of... I think it's actually a year ago, almost to the day, that I bought it. I'm pretty sure...
Shall I look when you did it?
Yeah, I think I did the review not long after. So, yeah, it was... I think it was about a year ago. Pretty much the start of lockdown, I think, here in the UK. So what that would have been like late March, possibly early April.
April?
Yeah, 20th of April I got it, and I had it a little bit before then, so yeah. It was that price then. It was, I think it was £71 then, and now it's like 70, so it's one of the few things that have actually...
£60.
What did I say?
Only £60 on your thumbnail.
Oh, was it 59? Yeah, it might have been 59.99 then.
Right up after, didn't
But I did pay £10 postage, roughly, from CCL, I think I got it from. So to get it free postage on Amazon for £70, yeah, it's essentially the same thing. Kath's taking the piss at me on the stream. Makes a change. Right.
Micro ATX case suggestions.
Yeah, micro ATX case suggestions is really hard. It really is. I've still not found... There's only one other... Let's see if I can find it. Aerocool did one. Again, a good friend on the Discord, Seam at Night, cases. He suggested this one, so let's get that back on there. It wasn't the quantum, graphite immerse. See you later, Cosmic. Oh, up early tomorrow. Oof. I think, Trinity Mini, there we go. that was the one. So the Trinity Mini is an interesting proposition. It comes with two 140mm fans up front, a single 120 in the back, but there is 3 versions of this case. There's a V1, V2 and V3. The V3 is addressable RGB and controllable. The V2 is fixed RGB, which is what you got here, and the V1 comes without any fans at all. So I was quite interested in that. That again is around about £40, and that actually doesn't look too bad. I actually think it's got quite a nice design ethic. You've got that nice mesh on the front, which is kind of similar to, I would say, some of the Corsair cases. Decent ventilation, you've got the RGB going on there as well. But
Aiken says the Atomic is decent.
The Atomic, yeah, that was the other one. So this is a tiny case, because look at there's the motherboard there. And there's the cables coming through. So, well, you can see actually there's two 120mm fans there. And they're basically the width of the case. So that is a really, really, really tiny chassis. Or case if you're an English person. That is going to limit, obviously, graphics cards as well. Because you've not got a lot of room, but you can actually cool the graphics card pretty well. So, yeah, air cooling. Two 120s or two 140s up front. It's not a bad... well, it doesn't seem like a bad option. So 159mm CPU cooler, which could be a little bit of a drawback. How big is the V5? 120mm, where's the specification? So overall dimensions, 148mm. So yeah, it'll absolutely fly a 120mm case fan.
Amazon reviews.
What does this does?
Apparently.
Oh dear.
Adam Blind Divides in.
Hi Adam, from the Blind Divide.
Also.
Pity about that gross PSU window. Yeah, that is... some people... Yeah, look at that.
Jose up a bit.
Hmm?
Jose up a bit.
Jose... Nick Barnes says, new to watching YouTube, but have to say you guys make great entertainment.
No, not that one.
Thank you. And Jose... Mike, what do you think about paying €750 for an RTX 3070 right now? Is it worth it or not? If you've got the money and you don't mind spending it, then it's worth as much as you're willing to pay. I personally wouldn't, but 3070 for that sort of money, I think we're getting a little bit too close to the summer months. Spring, summer, I think things are going to change a little bit. I think pricing is going to get better. That's my personal opinion. Obviously, I'm not a money expert. I'm just Mike, just saying what I think. So I would, yeah, I would say wait if you can.
Mark's off.
Thanks, Mark. Mark is off ski, literally.
Harry says it's got cheap and flimsy metal, broken power switch button.
Oh, that doesn't sound great. Ben says, my Arctic Freezer 34 will not fit, so I may buy the GameMax case. Yeah, the GameMax case is awesome. It really, really is. Steve from Gamers Nexus loves the Lian Li 215, and it's basically the best case of the year. The last year and this year so far. And there's a good reason for it. The Lian Li 215 is basically exactly the same as the GameMax F15, just bit cheaper at the moment, and I would say arguably has more features, although I personally do prefer the front panel on the Lian Li. I think it looks slightly more stylish. The GameMax one does. The extra bars on the front do make it look a little bit like the H500 mesh from Cooler Master, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. That's really down for you guys to decide. But
Ben says his Arctic Freezer 34 will not fit, so you may have to buy the GameMax case.
Yeah. So, yeah, that is pretty much it. Hugh says, that is why you are buying the 3400G. Yes, because everything's too darned expensive right now. Steve Wright says, have the Colink Sistel RGB. Nice, like it. Just not built in it yet, but looks good. Overclockers do a white version and a TG version. Yeah, overclockers in the UK are the official kind of brand partners of Colink. So overclockers generally do get the Colink stuff first, and if there's ever any stuff that comes out for review for YouTubers, generally if you're in the UK it will be shipped out by overclockers. Which is ironic actually, because overclockers was started by gamers for gamers, and now it seems to be a little bit of a cash cow, unfortunately. They do seem to be putting some quite serious pricing on GPUs, but they are a business ultimately, I guess. Dave Bell says thanks for the rocket too.
Biohazard was getting confused about the Merry Christmas stuff.
Oh yeah, the Merry Christmas stuff was, yeah, I got it programmed in on my buttons for cameras and intros and stuff, and it's all on my keypad. So when I was adjusting the pricing on PC Part Picker, I was pressing the number pad instead of the keypad to do the pricing. So it set off all kinds of different triggers. So you see, there's one I think, which if I press is the there's the Xmas. But before we get into all that, today's video is brought to you by the Mike's Unboxing. There you go. Yeah, you press these different buttons and all this kind of weird stuff happens. Look at the suntan on that boy back then. Jesus. Bought a few pounds as well. Bit like a graphics card. Ah dear. Glenn says, got to dip out now, enjoy the rest of the stream. No worries. Thanks for dropping by. Right, Dave Bell says you've done it again. Yeah, I know, I have. Okay, right, let's, I'm going to have to wrap this one up now. Time is getting on, and yeah, you guys have been in here. Waldo135, what was that case behind you? That is the VXR from Techware. Actually, really nice case. A little bit more challenging to build in, but very nice. Definitely won't fit your Freezer 34. It's basically water cooling or nothing. Richard Montgomery, shush, I'm trying to trick him. He swines. James Messina says, some sexy guy just tried to sell me writing apparatus. Oh, speaking of which, we have ordered the new Mike's Unboxing Special Edition multi-tool screwdriver. So that is going to be coming very soon, so I'll be tapping you up for a few quid for one of those as the time comes. But they've just been ordered, so we'll wait to see what they come through. Hopefully, they're going to be really cool. It's not like a full tool set, it's literally like one of those little clip-on pens which you can put in your shirt pocket or in your pocket, and it's got an assortment of heads which store inside the body. It's a little bit gimmicky, but I thought it'd be a nice little thing for having a little screwdriver with Mike's Unboxing on it. And it'll be something I can use to say thank you to patrons and that kind of stuff, so that'll be coming soon. Dave Aiken says, sign me up. Magnetic, definitely. I would not, in a million years, buy a screwdriver that wasn't magnetic. And if I was getting one made up with my name on it, there's no way it wouldn't be magnetic. Otherwise, I would.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Ugly Bob says you can do a video for this in the style of I fix it. Yeah.
It's got little magnets on everything.
Oh yeah, that's the point. Yeah, you can clip it to your shirt pocket if you buy a Mike's Unboxing shirt, but there isn't a Mike's Unboxing pocket on the shirt, so you'd have to buy the hoodie, which is considerably more expensive. Explosions! Yeah, we'll have some of those as well. Right guys, I will be on Discord briefly for the after show chat if anybody wants to have a chat, a natter, or just watch me fall over as I try and put all this camera gear away. As is the norm, obviously Kath as well will be on stream as well, saying hello to you and keeping you lot entertained whilst I am falling around like an idiot. Mike's Sonic Screwdriver, if only, that would be good. Unlock all the doors to the safes and then buy lots of GTX graphics cards or RTX graphics cards. So thanks everyone for watching. Hopefully you've had an entertaining evening, and thanks for all the super chats. Really do appreciate all that kind of stuff. It does mean an awful lot to us. It really, really does, and it helps us do what we need.
There's no Patreon link.
Adam Blind Divide, no Patreon link in description. Right, Kath sacked.
There it is.
There it is. You got to scroll down. He's just saying that so you ain't got to click on it. Right, have a wonderful rest of the weekend. For those of you who want to chat after, feel free to do so on the Discord in the after show chat room. But for now, I've been Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing, Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll see you later. Thanks for watching.